businesses is 4% if you cannot get credit elsewhere, and for nonprofit organizations is 3.25%. Okay. Now, now I'm going to say it in Spanish. Okay, but one other thing I want to say, sorry, is that right now you can, if you will take out a SBA loan, if you apply, you don't have to, it's not obligated for you to accept it, okay? You have 6 months to decide whether you want the loan or if you need the loan. You can also, for the first 12 months, you don't have to make any payments. It's 0% interest rate for the first 12 months, so therefore there's no interest accumulated. So make sure you take advantage of that. Now, I'm going to say it in Spanish for all those who are speak Spanish. Hola, mi nombre es Javier Patenco, y entonces lo que SBA, la Administración de Pequeños Negocios, ofrecemos a los que fueron afectados son préstamos que se tienen que pagar. Los préstamos es para los negocios de todos los tamaños, organizaciones sin fines de lucro, dueños de casa e inquilinos también. Los dueños de negocio ofrecemos un préstamo por daños físicos hasta un límite de $2 millones para reparar cualquier cosa que sufriera un daño, ¿verdad? Puede ser su mercancía, puede ser el edificio, puede ser también cosas físicas, ¿no? que tienen en el negocio. Otra cosa también, el otro préstamo que tenemos es para los negocios, que es por pérdidas económicas. Si un negocio, vamos a decir que ese negocio tuvo que cerrar sus puertas porque fue inundado, no está recibiendo ingresos, ¿verdad? En esos casos los negocios pueden pedir ese préstamo, pueden usarlo para pagar su electricidad, su luz, el gas, también payroll, perdón, esa es la palabra que me está fallando, pero sí, ustedes pueden pagar sus empleados también. Entonces, para los dueños de casa tenemos un préstamo hasta $500,000 para reparar o reemplazar su casa principal. Si tienen una casa secundaria, ustedes pueden usarlo también, pueden aplicar para eso con SBA si están usando esa casa como un negocio. Si lo están rentando y lo están demostrando en sus impuestos, entonces ustedes pueden llenar una solicitud como negocio. Para los dueños de casa y los inquilinos también tenemos hasta $100,000 para reemplazar cualquier propiedad que fue dañada, incluyendo los muebles. Puede ser un carro personal también. Y lo que también estaba mencionando, ¿verdad? Son intereses bajos para los dueños de casa, es de 2.688, tan bajo como ese. Si no tiene crédito en otra parte, no puede conseguir en otra parte, entonces va a ser el interés más bajo. Para los dueños de negocios, si no puede conseguir interés en otro lugar, entonces 4%. Y también estos 3.25% para las organizaciones sin fines de lucro. Ahora estamos de que los que llenan su solicitud no tienen que hacer pagos los primeros 12 meses. No hay interés que se va a acumular durante ese tiempo, es un interés a 0%. Y también queremos decir que ustedes sepan que la otra manera que ustedes pueden usar el préstamo de SBA es que tenemos mitigación, ¿verdad? Si usted sufrió daños en esas tormentas que pasaron, posiblemente usted puede usar un 20% adicional para poder reparar, hacer mejorías de mitigación a su casa o su negocio. También pueden refinanciar. Si ustedes tienen una hipoteca ahorita en su casa, pueden refinanciar con SBA, pero también quiero aclarar, no todos van a poder hacer eso, pero tienen que hablar con su representante, decirles, sabes que a mí me interesa refinanciar mi casa porque yo sufrí daños, mientras si ustedes son aceptados, bueno, si califican para el préstamo de SBA, posiblemente pueden refinanciar su casa sin hipoteca que tienen ahorita a un interés más bajo. Otra cosa es que también se pueden reubicar. Pueden usar el préstamo de SBA para reubicarse a otra parte de la ciudad. Si ya sufrieron 2 o 3 veces una inundación, como lo escuché en la televisión apenas el otro día, entonces usen ese préstamo de SBA para reubicarse a otra parte también. Pero por favor, eso no es algo que les van a decir, sino que ustedes tienen que decirle cuando vayan a llenar su solicitud al representante, digan, bueno, yo quiero reubicarme, yo quiero refinanciar mi casa. Lo tienen que decir, ¿ok? Por favor. Y
también dijo que tienen que aplicar para la asistencia de
sí, bueno, sí, lo que quiero, otra cosa que tenemos que aclarar es de que si usted es dueño de casa o inquilino, el primer paso es llenar su solicitud con FEMA. Yo sé que dijeron aquí que pueden ir directamente a nuestro centro que abrimos hoy, pero no es. Ustedes tienen que ya estar registrados con FEMA para que puedan ir a ese centro. Hasta que se abra el centro que FEMA está hablando, ¿verdad? El Disaster Recovery Center. Cuando se abra ese centro, entonces va a estar FEMA y va a estar SBA. Pero mientras, se tienen que registrar primero con FEMA y luego después pueden ir al centro de personas y necesitan llenar su solicitud con SBA. Okay.
Solo los dueños de casa necesitan registrar a los que sí, necesitan registrarse antes con FEMA antes de acceder,
Sí,
pero los
casa
pequeños
y
negocios
correcto.
no necesitan
Los
registrarse.
negocios no, ellos pueden ir directamente al Business Recovery Center.
Okay, perfect.
Sí. I'm sorry, you had a question, so I want to make sure I...
So if you're living on a fixed income and your home is damaged, and you owe the homeowner, how do you feel about it? You trying to put a lien on your house or something?
Okay. So if you apply for an SBA loan, the first $25,000 is you do not have to have collateral. After the $25,000, they will ask you if you have collateral. If you have collateral, then they ask you that you disclose that. They're not going to deny you if you do not have collateral. Okay. Does that answer your question? Is that?
So what would be collateral? Your home?
Well, it'll be possibly real estate or any collateral that you would have. Yeah. It could be the home. It could be yeah.
One thing we have to do is start wanting to get your home, especially when you already paid for it. Then you have to make a loan. But I was under the impression that after this happened, maybe I got to say that FEMA is going to come in and help us put our home in FEMA. That's what it's in debt to put it together.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I cannot speak about FEMA. I'm sorry.
Your supplement, those that don't have insurance, right?
Yes, this is our program is basically more for those who are underinsured and or have no insurance.
Well, I have homeowner insurance, I have no flood.
I'm sorry.
I have homeowner insurance, I have no flood.
Correct. That's from my understanding, a lot of people here do not have flood insurance. Correct.
I can use the loan for my car as well.
I'm sorry.
I can use the loan for my car as well.
Yes, you can. You can apply for a loan for your car. Yes.
And I already have a loan out on my car. So if I use the loan that I applied for to pay that off, I'm gonna have another loan on it. And how would you guys start to collect? Would you guys start to collect on your own after time goes by or paid or?
Okay, so I'm not sure if I understood your question,
You
Maria.
have one loan, she has to pay off, and then she makes this loan.
Well, okay, so that's what I was mentioning about refinancing. That could be a possibility you may be able to do. You can go to the center, you can ask them, okay, so you know what, this is what I want to do. Is it possible for me to refinance what I have right now and get the low rate? I'm not sure what the rate is, but maybe it might have benefited you.
You need another car. Okay, so you need another car, because that's gonna be, is that be a provider? I don't know.
I don't know, my car is not operating at all, and I still have to pay it off, and my insurance won't cover it. So I don't understand why I still have to pay for a car, and take out more, a bigger loan, just pay for it. I don't have a car that's working.
When you
So I
say
have to take
you
out another
say you
loan
have
for another
insurance,
car. Yeah, but they
and
won't cover
your
it.
insurance not gonna pay for it?
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What I mean, you can request for the SBA loan to pay for that, and I mean that's the only thing I can mention to you. Right?
It says it's an option, it's just an option, I.
Yes. No, you don't have to.
So if I don't, then that's when FEMA comes in?
Well, okay, you have to apply with FEMA. Because
So
you're,
I would apply with FEMA?
yeah, because
To come to you
we don't
guys?
duplicate the benefits.
I think there's two things, so let's not confuse it. So FEMA will have an eligibility criteria in what you are doing, and there's going to be money there, they just don't know how much. That's the reason why they're trying to get people in there. Because I had the same questions, what you're saying. So the first stop is to get, if FEMA could fund, or whatever fund or money is there for you, right? If that money can meet your needs, great. If not, the SBA is kind of supplemental. If you couldn't get there with whatever FEMA provided, then they're making low-cost loans. So they're not FEMA, they're supplementing what FEMA doesn't provide. Is that the best way to say it to FEMA people? You're supplementing what FEMA doesn't give you. And we don't know what that number is yet. That's why no one's answering that, because they just landed it, we just met them a day ago. So as we get that information here, we're gonna push it out right away.
One other thing I want to mention, if you're a homeowner or renter, there's a possibility that at FEMA, when you fill out your application with FEMA, they're gonna refer you to SBA. Okay, so I want to make sure that if you're a homeowner or renter, if FEMA refers you to SBA to fill out the application, as I mentioned, it's not obligated, you're not obligated to take the loan, but it's part of the sequence of delivery. And once you apply with SBA, if they approve your loan, you can either take it or you don't take it. The only thing I need you to understand is once you apply and you're accepted to the SBA loan, and if you don't take it, your federal assistance is going to end there. But if you apply and you're declined, then you can be referred back to FEMA, because FEMA has another program called Other Means Assistance. That's what I can tell you. So I want you to understand that. Let me just say it in Spanish, and I'll get back to you. Entonces, lo que quiero decir para las personas que son dueños de casa y inquilinos, hay una posibilidad de que FEMA los refiera SBA. Y entonces lo que queremos es que ustedes entiendan que ese es un proceso que se tiene que hacer. Y si eso pasa, como les digo, no es obligatorio que ustedes acepten el préstamo de SBA si ustedes no lo quieren. Pero llenen la solicitud, porque si ustedes no son aprobados, nos pueden referir otra vuelta con FEMA, y hay otro programa que se llama Other Needs Assistance. Es otro programa que ustedes posiblemente pueden calificar para más asistencia. Ahora, yo no puedo hablar más de ese programa, solamente mencionarlo para que ustedes sepan que es importante que ustedes llenen esa solicitud. Y okay, now
I wanted to say something that you probably didn't say. Those of you that are denied, go back and call, because just because you're denied doesn't mean that you're actually denied. It can basically mean that something in the application was missing. So that's, a representative let us know. Para los que no saben, si son negados, puede de que sea que en el papeleo algo faltó, alguna, no sé, algo que no llenaron. Entonces, no significa que están negados, significa que tal vez algo les faltó. So, nomás para que sepan.
And so with that being said, thank you, and I'm going to ask our congressional rep to come up now. You guys want to say a couple words from Congressman Juan Vargas' office, because if you get denied, I'm not going to say he's going to say it, call him.
Yes, as Mr. Sotelo mentioned, our offices are helping with anything federal. So I know with the floods, if you lost any important documents like your Social Security, passports, anything like that, we can help with that, as well as our office is also working right now with the IRS to extend the tax deadline. I'll translate it in Spanish. Hola, buenas tardes. Sí, entonces nuestra oficina está aquí para ayudar con cualquier cosa federal, sea su seguro social, su pasaporte si se le perdió durante la inundación. Entonces también nuestra oficina está trabajando también con el IRS para extender el límite para cuando tienen que hacer sus impuestos. Lo otro también, ahorita regreso en español, I'll go back to English. On the onset of the floods, our office worked digitally with the White House as well as FEMA to make sure that we had the correct information to get it approved. Once the governor made the major disaster request, Congressman Juan Vargas spearheaded a letter alongside the other congressional delegates to get the request quickly approved. I'll go back to Spanish. Lo voy a ir en español. Entonces, desde que pasó la inundación, nuestra oficina con el congresista Juan Vargas estaba trabajando con la Casa Blanca y también con FEMA para poder aprobar lo de la aprobación de FEMA cuando el gobernador aprobó, hizo la declaración para aprobar, perdón, cuando el gobernador hizo la
We have 4 folks, if there's any families that need assistance that are in here right now, if you want to get registered with FEMA, need assistance, you could go out, we have 4 people that can help right now. That could start applications if you're here right now. So, yeah, we have 4 families that we can get right now.
So I just need to know who still needs help with cleanups, mold suppression.
Sí, y ya cuando el gobernador pidió para aprobar para el desastre, entonces el congresista Juan Vargas fue el líder para comenzar con otros delegados también para mandar una carta al presidente Biden para que apruebe el desastre pronto. As Mr. Solero mentioned, on Monday, February 19th, President Biden granted approval for major disaster declaration. Entonces, como había comentado el señor Soleto, el lunes, febrero 19, el presidente Biden aprobó lo que viene siendo para la declaración de desastre. Also, on behalf of Congressman Juan Vargas and the Congressman, I want to express gratitude to FEMA as well as SBA for being here. De parte de la oficina del congresista Juan Vargas, quería extender mi gratitud para FEMA y también para el SBA. Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you. As you know, these meetings are getting more informative, and thank you so much. These meetings, so just to be clear, we're committed every Monday, so those that don't know, tell people we will be here. And our goal for this meeting is to invite these folks and to share out straight from whoever is coming. So that's our goal here, is to get as many folks with information here. So every Monday, 5:30, we will be here. So now,
And you might want to mention if they want to see the agency specifically, to let you know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try to-
and please, and make sure you sign the sign-in, because we send emails alerting for these meetings. And if there is any request for agencies or problems you have, we will guarantee to push it to those proper channels. That's our best we can do, is to advocate. So from there, the next is anyone from the city of San Diego would like to report out any, Mr. Eric.
Thank you, Fred. All right, so from the city, only 2 things to report out, really 3. One, we're still doing the trash pickup. Dumpsters are being set throughout the neighborhoods that need it. That will continue to go on throughout this recovery process. 2, the inspectors from the development services will be still going out and assisting where necessary, but also anyone needing permits to do reconstruction, all those fees are being waived by the city. And I just got a text that the city and FEMA will be partnering at the Mountain View Rec Center starting Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. towards a permanent location for assistance.
How long will those fees be waived?
Don't know the time period, but my assumption is throughout this entire, you're probably going to fall in the same line with FEMA. That's my assumption, probably going to fall in the same timeline with FEMA. FEMA will be at the Mountain View Rec Center on Thursday until further notice at 10 o'clock, 10 to 7 p.m. Every day, starting this Thursday. Sundays included.
So one more time, every day, 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the
Mountain View Rec Center.
Mountain View Rec Center, FEMA will be there.
Every day, starting on Thursday.
I didn't have a question. It's just level set for everybody in the room until that official press release comes out. It's still fluid on the DRC. It's solid. I hear you, but unless that press release comes out, don't show up until you see the official.
Understand. All right. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're excited. Yes.
All right, cool.
So we need a press release tonight. Questions? No, we have 2 more we're reporting out. So now we have County of San Diego. Anyone from the County of San Diego? County of San Diego. Okay, so County of San Diego, no one from the County of San Diego, so we have the state, anyone from the state, we have the federal already, anyone at the state level? Okay, so we've questioned out there, ask a question.
You know me first.
Come on, and I know you. Come on up here.
Questions. I follow the rules. So, in regards to, let's go back, in regards to volunteers, can you distinguish between unprofessional volunteers versus professionals in regards to the remediation of homes? What scope of work would not safely apply to volunteers?
So, Armand?
Yeah, so we're working with organizations like BOAG, Crisis Cleanup. I believe in the last meeting, that way we've also said that she worked with them, but we've had meetings with them as well as Southern Baptist. So as far as volunteers, yes, there's two levels. There's skilled volunteers that do that's their profession. It's what we call skilled volunteers. Versus the unskilled volunteers are just the volunteers that are going to come do all the muck outs, do the debris cleanup, stuff like that. We will be coordinating trainings to our street leads as we divide these streets up in different quadrants. And those professional, those that we deem are kind of the leads of the groups, will get certified training. Courtesy of, sorry, I wrote my name down when I'm on the computer, so my name's on the computer. But courtesy of, sorry,
Okay, when did you do that?
So we'll send it.
I'm sorry. United Methodist Committee on Relief. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, and as well as Southern Baptist Disaster Group. So those are the professionals that we have been working with already on the ground when they first started. They were going around surveying the addresses in the areas and pretty much marking what houses that we should go into before them. And then giving the green light on others. Then they introduced us to an app where we're going to put that on the app, and those houses that need the professionals, we're then going to claim them and send the professional will then come in to do the work that is needed on those houses.
Okay, thank you. My second question, in regards to, I hear the resident here saying that residents are not receiving information about these meetings. Seems like to me there's a communication gap. And my question is, how can we address the communication gap so that all affected residents and all of us that are helping to support are all receiving the same information? Because what I'm hearing is we need to start with FEMA, and FEMA is one thing, but then you're saying that we don't are not eligible for FEMA, we don't get enough money for FEMA. By the way, I heard that the max is $41,000. Then we need to go to SBA small business, right? Or I guess my concern is, Fred and others, that we need to make sure that residents, affected residents, understand and know about what we can do to address their needs. I understand you all have a database. I'm assuming you had emails in there. You're providing that information to, I'm assuming, FEMA and anyone else?
Yes, so we sent out.
So we need to make sure, I'm very passionate about this, we need to make sure that these residents are aware of these meetings and a communication strategy where they are informed about what their options are in regards to making their homes livable and we make them whole.
We agree with you, and I think, Alan, thank you for your leadership, and that's why organizations like you, organizations like the Y, all the organizations here have your same passion, and that's why we're all here advocating.
One more and I'm done. I have one more. We need to, wait a minute, we need to know a timeline of when the application is submitted and when the communication, the notification would be with regard to eligibility up to funding, so that we know early enough, where we know that this is not gonna be enough funding for me to make my family whole in that house. So I need to know option A, B, C, and D, E, and F. That's what needs to take place.
And that's why we're thankful for your leadership, and you'll be at the table to help understand and communicate it to your constituents. And that's why I think all of us organizations, this is why we're having these every Monday, to get the information, collaborate, and push it back out. And within our group, we have that QR code and that resource page. Every week, that Carmina mentioned, it is being updated. So every week, and now the residents that we've touched have that QR code to go to. So to answer your question, Alan, everyone we've touched in our database has this QR code, and everything we've said gets updated in real time. So
Just literally added the SBA stuff, the FEMA,
So everything mentioned here is already in our app that the residents we've touched. So now our challenge is, if you're a practitioner, community member that's here,
What about the residents here?
that's what I'm saying, that they're here, that's where we need your organization, all our organizations to take what we've built and keep pushing it out. So it has been done. What you're saying is being done, but we need everybody's help to push that information out, because we all don't know. So that's what we've been working on. Carmina, thank you for your team, because they're diligent. It's a long list and they have to vet it. So it is happening. It's happening to who we're touching, but can we get it to more? Yes. And that's about all of us in here doing that. So from there, the action plan, that's where we're at. So what you said here in Agenda 9, next steps and action plan. So that action plan, next steps, what we know now that we've turned over housing, we've turned over, not quite the food piece yet, we are going into advocacy mode next to answer your question. So this group, as of next week, we're transitioning to, as we hear these questions and problems, how can we keep echoing those problems to the powers they may be? And that's our goal now, is now that, thank you FEMA being here, SBA, the city, county, our job is to keep echoing those needs. So we appreciate you all. So with that, the recovery timeline, like I said, we're that's a work in progress. We will be here every Monday, 5:30. Yes.
Can we get flyers with the time and basically all the Monday meetings? So these flyers, I can put them at the Comfort Inn, take them to the Ramada, whichever other hotels. For those people that don't know about this, I'm trying to get it out into some chats like Beta, Cutwood, but there's still people that, you know, you can't get to that are either not in the chat or.
And we'll work on that at ASAP. Yeah. And it's going to be added in here, so they'll have the meetings. Everyone that we've touched, it'll be in their meeting. They know that. Yeah. So.
But some people don't know how to get it. Even the older folks.
So with that being said, we cannot stop this without closing out with the right way. Mr. Davis Johnson, can you close this out with love?
Hey everybody, my name is Anthony Avalos again, second generation Southeast Beastie, and just saw the people who were on the ground day one and wanted to come and support their awesome work. So Armand, YMCA, Open Heart Leaders, so many others, Andrew. I see every time I'm at work helping, I see Andrew at work helping. The reason I'm up here is not just to brag about the work that we're doing, but actually to say that as far as advocacy is concerned, there's always a need. And if anybody feels moved to advocate for the people who maybe can't make it down to a Board of Supervisors meeting, there's an opportunity for you tomorrow. If you want and you have the time, 9 a.m. is when the Board of Supervisors meeting starts, and you can make comment specifically on anything you want if it's during the period of non-agenda public comment. That happens right at the beginning of the meeting, so 9 o'clock sharp for those late birds. And sometimes they stretch it out to the end. Now, I will say again, in support of the efforts and the flood victims, we have talking points that talk specifically to the need for mental health support, the need for housing support, the need for food support, and the need for supporting the organizations that are here supporting the community. So if anybody is interested and wants to make sure that they support the victims, the first thing we're asking for is for you to cede your time to those who actually live this and want to speak for themselves. Once that need is taken care of, for those super advocates out there that are ready to hit the ground running, we also have talking points that honor the experience that those who are impacted are experiencing. And so the only thing that we ask is that if you do come into that space and advocate, that you make sure that you advocate in a way that the survivors are going to appreciate and are going to respect. If you have any other questions, please reach out to me, reach out to RJ, reach out to any of us. We'll help you.